Thank you, Nino. I like that very much. In the name of Jesus Christ, welcome to this morning's worship service. We have a few announcements that I'd like to draw to your attention. You've noticed that we have the new name tags. It still is not quite complete as our vendor still had some problems executing their responsibility properly, but we'll fix that this week. And next week, if everything goes all right, we'll have the new directories out. But we'll have to see. It's going to be a very busy week, as you can well imagine, what with being Holy Week. Speaking of Holy Week, Reverend Lorne will be in the pulpit on Wednesday evening, and a handful of us will be at the Convention Center in a booth for United Presbyterian to issue a welcome to this church, and also to encourage people to come on Easter as well as other things. So we're excited about that, those of us who will be involved with that particular ministry. And our apologies to Reverend Lormer already that we will not be there. Also, one of the happier things that ever happens in this church is when I cook breakfast. Well, it's the truth. And I'll be cooking breakfast, and Brenda will be assisting me along with Judy Iverson on, it's going to be great. It's the good, you take about a half a pound of butter. You got to start with the basics, butter and sugar and caffeine. And then those are the foundational blocks of good cooking. Anyway, and then you take your eggs after you've melted down the butter, and then you take about a half an hour to do your soft-boiled eggs. It's very good, and it'll make your heart thank you.
Soft-boiled?
No, not soft-boiled. No. Scrambled. And then the sausage and the gravy will be very good. Don't worry. It'll be fine. But I'll be doing that along with Judy and Brendan. So there is a sign-up, in the narthex on that. And, of course, for the children, there will be an Easter egg hunt as well. So be encouraged, and please invite a friend for next Sunday if you'd be so kind. Alan Pease has something he'd like to share with us.
Our fellowship hours today will be food that we had yesterday. We had a pitching lunch, and 19 of us went to see Babes in Arms, and Jimmy John's provided the sandwiches, and they sent over 60 sandwiches, so we have a lot of sandwiches left over downstairs. And the other people that brought stuff to pitch in, that's downstairs too. And Alejandra and Judy supervised getting it all together this morning.
Thank you, Alan. One final note. We've made a really wonderful connection with the Indiana School of Music, particularly its harp department, and they have asked to use this church as a recital hall for 5 recitals that will all be done. Well, 4 will be in April and 1 will be in May, an ensemble. And that should be really terrific. And not only that, there's a young man who is a friend of Shu T. Remember the violinist who was here? He is now at school at IU, and he is wanting to do a violin recital. I've forgotten exactly when, sometime in April, I believe it is. So there are a lot of recital opportunities, and I want to draw that to your attention. With that said, are there any other announcements? Yes, Reverend Lorne.
I don't know how many people pay attention to the reaching out, but this week has or this month has a tremendous report from Niagara. And I urge everyone to read it. It just thrills your heart to realize something's going on that we had a little bit to do with in the beginning, and continued support for it. So do read that. Right?
Thank you. And the book will be out very soon, and we have a photograph of the cover in the office of the book, which I don't want to say features, but it mentions Alan, of course, and this church, and what members of this church were involved with there. They expect 1 million copies. That's what Penguin said. 1 million copies to be sold of this book. So it's pretty exciting. With that said, today is, of course, the first day in Holy Week, and we will begin our worship with silence.